This video is on assigning oxidation numbers. So there's some rules that we need to learn for assigning oxidation numbers. First, that all elements when they're by themselves have an oxidation number of 0. So on our periodic table, if any of these elements are listed as a reactant or product, by themselves they're going to have an oxidation number of 0. Oxidation number is just a name for the charge that your ion is going to have. So either positive or negative, and it's dependent upon a couple different situations. Elements, like I said, have oxidation numbers of 0. Oxygen in a compound will always have an oxidation number of -2. Hydrogen will always have an oxidation number of +1. Groups 1, 2, and 3, remember, are our columns of our periodic table. 1, 2, skip the transition metals, and 3. All of these are going to have +1, 2, and 3 charges respectively. So aluminum always has a charge of +3, magnesium +2, potassium +1. All other elements on our periodic table are going to have to be determined mathematically dependent upon the compound they're in. All compounds must have a total oxidative state of 0, and the ions must add to their charge. So let's go through a couple of examples. Like I said, you've already learned this before. You just haven't realized you've learned it necessarily. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so potassium, Mn, manganese, O4. I like to write it out. Potassium, manganese, and oxygen. There's 4 oxygens. The total of these has to equal 0 because all compounds must add to 0. Potassium is in group 1. We see it here. Therefore, potassium is going to have a charge of +1. We have 1 potassium, so that's my overall charge, +1. Magnesium, because it's a transition metal, found here, we don't know its charge, so we need to use our total compound to mathematically find it. Oxygen has a charge of -2. Times 4 gives us -8, plus our x for magnesium gives a total value of 0. 8 plus 1 -7. X minus 7 is 0, therefore x has to be +7. So our oxidative state, potassium is going to be +1, manganese +7, oxygen -2. If we have a polyatomic ion, they always have a charge. So that means my phosphorus plus my 4 oxygens has to equal a total charge of -3. Oxygen is always -2 times 4 gives me -8 plus my phosphorus equals -3. Add 8 to both sides, so phosphorus equals +5. That means phosphorus has an oxidation number of +5. Oxygen has an oxidation number of -2. Not 8, that's the total contribution it has. Its oxidative number is -2. Let's try nitrogen dioxide. Again, your total has to equal 0. Oxygen is always -2 times the 2 I have, so that's -4, plus my nitrogen, so nitrogen has to equal +4. So oxygen -2, nitrogen +4. And it's okay that nitrogen is a nonmetal and it has an oxidation number of +4. Okay? Because this is not an ionic compound. This is okay to happen. Go ahead and try the last one, which is your sulfurous acid. Again, hydrogen plus 1, oxygen minus 2. We don't know sulfur. Plus 2 plus sulfur plus a negative 6 equals 0. Sulfur plus negative 4 equals 0. So sulfur equals positive 4. Hydrogen was plus 1. Sulfur plus 4. Oxygen minus 2.